What's up, fam? Welcome to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth. I'm your host, Nick. We got the panel on, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What do you do?
Guys,
Y'all ready for Christmas?
What it do?
trying to be.
I just can't wait for it to be over.
I don't even have a Christmas spirit, y'all.
Oh, I love the Grinch. That's my best friend.
Jim Carrey's the best Grinch ever.
Yes.
Tootie Scrooge.
Oh, why you do me like that?
Well, I don't understand it.
Because I ain't in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I haven't bought one present, and I'm like, do I want to go Christmas shopping, or do I need to give everybody a gift card? Like, I ain't in the mood.
The thought process, exactly. Well, y'all, today's topic is going to be about, have you ever been brutally honest in a relationship?
Most definitely.
Or have you ever had to be? I don't know what Greg's doing.
Trying to get my camera right.
Okay. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. And what was it like? What did you do? What did you say? Was it disrespectful or was it brutally honest?
No, it wasn't even brutally honest. It was just honest.
Okay.
Like so you could be brutally honest as
there's three phases. There's three phases. It's honest, brutally honest, and disrespectful.
I don't know if I agree with that, because it's hard to be disrespectful and honest. If it's true, then it's not really disrespect.
What about if you're honest? What about if you're honest with somebody and they don't get it, and you keep having to explain yourself, and then you get so frustrated that you're brutally honest to where you're just blunt with it, and then they still don't get it, and then you just say, "Look, motherfucker," and then it becomes disrespectful.
But disrespect, that's gonna be one of them subjective things. Yeah. Like I might be able to say something to you and Trav the exact same way. And Trav be like, all right, I get that. And you be like, but you didn't have to say it that way. It's not that I was in. This is my thing about disrespect. Disrespect is always intentional. Nobody's ever accidentally disrespectful.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if I'm just trying to be honest, that's not intended to be disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the difference between honest and brutally honest?
Honest is deploying a certain tact with how you speak. I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm trying to spare your feelings. Brutally honest, I'm just going to tell you the truth.
Right.
No filter.
Yeah, right. And that's like this. I mean to sting you a little bit to wake you up. Brutally honest does.
Right.
So
go ahead.
So I guess in that aspect, I have been brutally honest in a relationship. It ain't worked out.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Smiley?
So my last relationship, when I started talking to this young lady, that was one of the things she was harping on, like, just keep it real with me. Don't sugarcoat nothing, just put it on the table, call it what it is. And for the first few months, she was cool. Like I was able to, I had a freedom that I had never known. So I was really able to talk to her and like she was receiving information. And then what ended up happening is once that emotional bond took a turn, and this is, all right.
Be honest. Be brutally honest.
So listen.
What the hell happened?
No, I want to fill in the blank so bad.
All right, and it's just from my experience. I can't speak for nobody else, but what I've learned is that women can deal with male honesty to a degree. And the deeper that emotional connection is, the harder it is for them to cope with it. So once we got to a point where she was emotionally invested, that same level of honesty that attracted her to me is now me being offensive.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Go ahead, Trav.
So that Smiley made it easy for me. Men, we can be honest with each other. We that's just the way it worked because the world is honest with men. That doesn't work that way with women. So if you're in a relationship with a woman, like like if you criticize cooking,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times a lady will become offended by that. If you say something about her weight, it's no good way. It's offensive. So it's
But how do
hard
you
to
say it? Like if you were with a woman that she was overweight, but you guys were vibing, you guys were together, and like, how would you present yourself? How would you say it?
well, I wouldn't
Carefully.
me personally, I would
Carefully.
me personally, I wouldn't say it, but there are a lot of guys that will say something like that. Me personally, I wouldn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why is it that when when people are in relationships and they sugarcoat stuff to save feelings, why not just be honest, regardless if it hurts?
because you can't do that. You can't. Some ladies are sensitive about their weight. For me, it's not gonna bother me. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that. But like, if I choose you and you're a big girl, I'm gonna still hit that big meat. That's me. I'm just saying me.
That's facts.
But
Right.
but if there's some men that don't, they're like, ah, and they'll say, oh, you're overweight or whatever. For me, that wouldn't work. I ain't gonna say that. But I mean, there's certain guys that will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you could tell a lady something small and she'll take it. Like, babe, like, the cooking, or I don't like the way you did. I don't like the way you were with a situation.
Look, honestly, bro, starting off anything where I don't like, usually finna get that defensive reaction.
But
It don't
Smiley,
matter what comes
what else
after the I don't like.
But Smiley, what else you want me to say if I say I don't like?
Look, I'm with you. We just having the conversation, bro. I'm just saying, in my experience, just starting off with anything as a dude saying, babe, look, I don't like when, or I don't like that. That usually triggers a defensive reaction, and you end up in this weird argument that you don't really know what the argument is about. But before the situation is over with, as a dude, you end up apologizing because her feelings got hurt.
I'm that girl.
I'm not sensitive about a whole lot of stuff, right? But I was dating this guy one time, and I came out of my room because we were getting ready to go to the movies, and he said, "That's got to be the ugliest fucking shirt I ever saw." Like, well, I ain't going to the movies. Like,
you didn't go to the movies because of that? You didn't go?
I've been changing shirts because my mama told me I was being a jackass. I was like, hey, he don't like my shirt. I don't give a damn. He ain't gotta like nothing. I ain't gotta go to the movie. I went in my room, I changed my clothes and put back on my lounge wear. Mama said, "You being a whole jackass. Put your clothes on and take your ass to the movie. Switch shirts to me." I was like, "I don't have to do all that." And she was like, "Nigga, you do. Go switch shirts." So that's how I ended up going to the movies, because my mama basically made me go because she said I was being a jackass.
I would have been like, "Go get your ass in the car. Let's go." But
and see, like, yeah. and if he said you in that ugly shirt, I'd have been like,
"Get your ass in the car. Come on, let go."
But you can't just like walk out your room and he be sitting there. He be like, "That's got to be the ugliest fucking shirt I ever saw."
So Tootie, we getting ready to go out, right? And I say you look a mess. Is that gonna make you feel bad?
And I'm like, what do you hate? Like, I'll just say, what do you not like about my outfit?
I mean, everything you got on look a mess.
Oh, okay, then. Well, I mean, so are you gonna buy me another one? Or are you gonna pick out something different? Like,
here we go. Watch this, Tootie. Go get your ass in the car.
I'm just saying, like, it's this or nothing. Like, what you gonna do? You don't get to like criticize and complain and then I have a remedy.
I've always been open-minded. Yeah, because I've always been open-minded about if a guy says, "Hey, I like something," or "I don't like something," because it teaches me something. It teaches me something moving forward. So especially if you get into a relationship and you want to cater to somebody, you want to know what their likes are and what their dislikes are. So you do have to be open-minded. However, I don't think that all women get offended with everything, or with when a guy says, like, "I don't like this or that." I just don't. But I can tell you that if a woman becomes voiceful and they tell you, a guy, what they like or what they don't like, or if they're doing something wrong, or if they're doing something wrong in that person's eyes, a guy gets defensive as well, regardless if we're trying to be careful with our words so we're not being disrespectful or brutally honest. I find that a lot of women try to work our words, so therefore we don't hurt our men's feelings.
Give me an example.
And let me add on to that, Lanita. You know, if the truth be told here today, men are more sensitive than women.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes, Smiley.
That's why he made that face, and that's why Travis shaking his head.
Hold on.
That bullshit, we not the same.
Listen, hold on, y'all. She's not talking about you two. She's not. No, she's not talking about you. She's talking about. Hold on, let her finish.
That's fair. That's fair.
She's talking about there are
I'm
some men out there.
I'm not talking about you two buff men. I'm not talking about you guys. But men are they're very sensitive, and they're more sensitive than we are. Not saying that women are not sensitive, yes, but also too, what plays a part is how the conversation is brought over. So if you come to me in a nasty manner, I'm not gonna accept that. If you come to me honestly, but depending on how the conversation is brought to my attention, then you're more apt to get my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Go ahead, Smiley.
I think that there's some nuance that's being missed here, right? So I don't think that men are more sensitive to women. What I think is that the things that men are sensitive about, they are more sensitive in those particular arenas. However, in general, it doesn't take much to offend a woman. It doesn't take much to get under a woman's skin. So, perfect example, right? Let's say as a woman, you criticize your man about something, whatever the case may be, right? And he gets sensitive about it. It's because it's coming from you. He can get that same complaint from everybody else and he won't care about it. But because it came from you, it hit different, right? Now, here's the thing. And this is just my experience. I'm not telling you what all women do. I want to make sure that's clear, because that tends to happen when we have these male-female discussions. Like, well, not all women. I'm not telling y'all all women do this. I'm just telling you from my experience.
Right.
Just me being on this planet, from California to Florida, Texas, everywhere I've been, I've seen this dynamic take place.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that a woman is sensitive about, it doesn't matter if a man says it or a woman says it. It's something that she's sensitive about. So it's going to be sensitivity across the board. As a man, we get used to criticism early. It just hits different when it comes from the person that we're trying to spare their feelings.
It's part of a gig for a man.
We get used to it early. I'll give you an example. My son is 4 years old. My daughter's coach has a daughter who's also 4 years old, and they play together. And in the process of them playing together, you know, kids doing kid stuff. They on their scooters and bicycles and big wheels and pulling out the dinosaur toys and all of that stuff. In the process, they get to wrestling a little bit. And the girl starts kind of like swinging at my son. Now, I'm on the road at the time, but I'm on the phone with my wife as it's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl kept hitting my son. And at some point, he got frustrated. And my wife saw it and was like, you better not hit her back. It's the way we teach boys and girls on what to care about starting so early. As boys, they get checked immediately. Mm-hmm. He's 4 years old, and I walk around the house. He'll say, Daddy, can I have a... Like, no, not right now. He'll go, and stop that whining. Like, boys get checked on shit like that early. It's cultivated in girls. That's one of the reasons why I got a friend of mine who's a basketball coach. He coaches boys basketball and girls basketball. Mm-hmm. When he coaches the boys, get your ass up, run. Ooh, that is real aggressive talking to when he getting at the boys. When it's with the girls, he got to take that tone down and be like, so listen, you got to just, all you got to do is just work hard. And that's, it's a thing that we do culturally. How we talk to our little boys versus how we talk to our little girls. And it shows as we grow into teenagers, as we grow into adulthood, because everybody's constantly pushing to say, okay, we have to be mindful of a woman's feelings. Yeah. You've never heard nobody say something like, you never ask a man how old he is. That question alone will trigger certain women.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's something that gets taught from day one. And that's why I say, I'm not telling you that there aren't sensitive men. I done seen some, I don't know if I can say this word, so.
Whatever, we open platform.
Look, what we call them some tender dick ass niggas.
TD, he suffered from TD.
You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what we call them. Yeah, it's some of them out here, but them dudes ain't the majority.
Right.
Nah, them niggas taking over though, Smiley.
Nah, they getting all the attention.
Them
it's
TD niggas. Them TD niggas.
No, it's a difference, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been brutally honest to your homeboy or your homegirl?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. That's what men do with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We never gonna tell you, like, we don't do what y'all do. You a 10, you're a 5.
Say y'all. All
women.
the time. There's some men that do act like that.
Well, all right. I got a question. I got a question. Nick, I got a question. Yes. Can you say there's ever been a time in your life where you've heard a guy talking to his homeboy and he like, man, this girl tripping, man. She ain't yada, yada, yada. She ain't doing the things that I want her to do. And that homeboy said, man, you deserve better than her. You a 10, bro. You can.
We don't do that.
Have you ever seen it happen in real life?
We don't do that.
Not that per se. No.
It has happened.
We don't do that.
I haven't seen that, but
I'm telling you, I'm not denying that it ain't happened. I'm saying, have y'all ever seen it take place?
I've seen.
Let me say this. I think, just like the beauty shop, when the women go to the beauty shop, just like the barber shop, when you all go to the barber shop, I mean, there have been talks about, another man telling another man, you deserve better than that, yada, 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 yada. So
they say it in different words. They don't say
a man will never tell another man to get rid of her. We don't do that.
Trav, you don't do that. There are some men that
does.
Okay, all right. Let's throw out a disclaimer, right?
Speak from your experience. Don't say
At this point, there's going to be some bleed over in all of it, right? Guys don't do this. There's going to be some that do it. Women don't do this. There's going to be some that do it, but let's try to make sure we focus on the majority. What's the rule and not the exception?
Right. Gotcha.
And based on the majorities and the percentages and all of that type of stuff, it is way less likely for you to hear a guy complaining about a relationship and his homeboy say, man, you could do so much better than her. You deserve Rihanna, nigga. You deserve Beyonce, nigga. You don't hear that type of shit from dudes. But you can see a girl who, objectively speaking, may be a 6, 7 on whoever's scale, right? Her friends are going to tell her, fuck a 10, you're a 12. You deserve Morris Chestnut. Like, you will see that shit often.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. In our world, the numbers of those dudes y'all talking about, those dudes are small.
Do you think that being brutally honest in a relationship can be considered abusive? Verbally?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it can get.
If listen, Trav, listen. If somebody is brutally honest in the relationship, can it be looked at as verbally abusive?
Is it true?
Sometimes.
And that's the problem.
No, I'm asking, is what the person, man or woman, saying true or false?
Okay, let's say it was false.
Oh, true.
Then it's a lie. Then it's a lie, and it is offensive, and it's abusive, verbally abusive.
Okay.
But what? Okay, but what if it's true?
Then that's the goddamn brutal truth.
No, well,
I'll
it's
say-
not. Hold on, because she didn't use the word brutally honest.
What she
She
used?
she used a different word. What was that word you used, Nikki?
Verbal abuse
Abusive.
could
Abusive.
brutally honest.
She said, "Can brutally honest be considered abusive?"
Right. Verbally
I
abusive.
don't think it can be considered abusive. I don't think brutally honest can be considered abusive. But I think that if the person is talking to someone in a demeanor that's downing and it's continuing over and over again, and they see that their behavior as brutally honest is breaking this person down, then that becomes abusive if it's continuously. So you have to, if you can be brutally honest, but you don't have to be brutally honest 100% of the time to where you're breaking this other person down. So if you see that, okay, you're hurting this person with your words and you don't try to change that or kind of come at a different avenue, then it can eventually turn into being verbally abusive. And then the thing is, if that person is continually talking to that person that way, they don't even realize they're being abusive.
What if
because it's been accepted for so long?
Right.
What if the ego's so big on either parties to where you have to be so brutally honest to pop that bubble? Go ahead, Trav.
Okay, so in my case, you know, personal hygiene is a big thing with a woman for me. I've said it several times.
Mhm.
So if I have to tell you about something with your hygiene and we deal with each other, and I've said it over and over, and now I'm saying, hey, baby, your ass stinks. How is that being filed? That's brutally honest telling you you're doing something I don't like. It's going to cause me not to deal with you. That doesn't
no,
make
you should tell
that
her
wasn't
that.
your first time saying this.
Right.
Either.
She needs to know that.
Yeah, so it's one thing if you say, okay, so what would be, I would consider abusive is if you do it to embarrass her. That's when I would consider that to be.
I say that in front of though.
No, just hear me out. So if it's just the two of you, right? And you be like, hey, you need to go watch that thing. That's a conversation that you're having with her, right? She hears you, only you and her know, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let's say y'all out somewhere, she walk by, you get a whip, you be like, oh, you need to watch that thing. It's a whole different place.
Mm-hmm.
That's disrespectful. Because now everybody know her cat's name.
That's disrespectful because you're
saying. That's disrespectful. Now she's embarrassed. That's when it becomes abusive to me. It's when, because if you pull her to the side and you be like, hey, I got a whiff of that, you need to do something about it. That's not abusive because you're telling her in a way that everybody doesn't know what you said. But if your goal is to embarrass her or you embarrass her in some sort of way by putting her out there in front of people, that's to me, that's
so.
Right. Go ahead.
They go back to what I said at the beginning. Disrespect is always intentional. Like, let's say she walked past him and the smell just hit him in a way that it was just a visceral reaction. Like, damn, baby, like, what the fuck? I don't think that is disrespectful. Now, if he decided to make a spectacle of it, you doing it intentionally. But if it was just a genuine reaction, like, God damn, like, I don't think that was disrespectful because you weren't trying to intentionally hurt this person. You just had something that happened that caused the reaction.
Out your attention.
Like you didn't call her out. You just said, damn. You just kind of looked at her like, damn.
But look, let's keep it a buck. Everybody on her, we've all said some shit in a moment that caught us off guard. And you was like, ooh, you had to think back, like, damn, I didn't mean to say that shit.
Oh yeah.
We've all done it.
Oh yeah. That's true. We have.
And to me, that's not disrespect. That's like that's you being human.
But Tootie, back to what Tootie said.
Uh-huh.
If I'm talking to you and I'm in public and I say, baby, you smell like 5, 10 asses. Yeah, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. But if
he smell like a whole bag of assholes.
It's just 5, 10 asses. But if I tell you, Tootie, me and you and say, look, I'm not gonna give you no more of this mule unless you got to keep that thing clean.
But
I'm telling you that I'm not gonna be dealing with your ass under these circumstances.
And I think that's more than fair because that's a thing for you. But then you got to say, well, does she have some kind of issue that causes her to have an odor? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah, like
but
it's a
a lot of
pH
times
off for it.
too, if you can smell, my mom always told me that I should
somebody
be able to
else-
smell myself before anybody
Before.
else can smell me. So
Yep.
if you smell me, that means I've already smelled myself. And it's unacceptable at that time. So for you to tell her, look, you are, you know, you need to go handle that. You need to either A, she needs to go to the doctor, or B, she don't know how to wipe her ass correctly, or C, she don't know how to wash her ass right.
Women know.
I got a question.
Women
I got
know,
a question.
period. They know when they stink. If you
I got a question.
hold on, Smiley. If you pull your pants down to go pee and you get a woof or some shit and it ain't normal, you know.
Let me tell
You
y'all.
don't have to go pee. You can sit down.
Let me say this. This is a true story.
Go ahead.
For real. All shit aside. I
Okay.
was 25. I did not grow up eating asparagus. I ate broccoli. So the first time I had asparagus,
I know where it's going. I know where it's going.
I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with my cat? I couldn't figure out what it was. Guess who drove herself to the emergency room? We need to talk about this because this here smelled like something that ain't never came out of there before. And this ain't right. I set my ass in the emergency room and the lady was like, well, how you feel? I feel perfectly fine, but my quasses stink. And we need to talk about this. All shit aside. We finna have us a whole meeting because guess who don't have no musty purrs?
Right.
Hey, look.
And that's like a whole
look.
diet. Hold on. That's a whole diet. If you change your diet drastically, women will, it can happen. Go ahead, Smiley.
So when she said something about a woman would smell herself beforehand, the first thing that came to my mind was that Febreze commercial talking about you've gone nose blind. That shit had me in here cracking up, like, because in the commercial, you got the teenage boy sitting in his room with all his, you know what I'm saying, football gear, basketball gear, all this shit stinking must, and he just blind to it. But as somebody new walking in the room, it punch you in the nose like Tyson.
Right.
And it's like, you've gone nose blind. And I just started wondering, like, is that a thing when it comes to body odor? You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
Like, can you go nose blind to you?
I can't go nose blind to me. If
I
I
can't.
But a lot of women can because because there's a deficiency.
You got to remember, Tanya's in the medical field.
There's a deficiency. So sometimes, other people can smell you, but you cannot smell yourself.
You know,
so
that
nose blind smelling is a for real thing. That's just like, you know, when we grow up as kids, you know, your parents can smell your bedroom, but you can't because, you know, because you have became apt to that and
this
content
shit
with that.
right here. I might not smell Newport smoke on me, but the second I get around somebody who don't smoke, it's like the biggest thing in the room.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing in the room.
Hold on, y'all. Go ahead, Trav.
So, because I'm versed with this, ladies, if you let a man, and you ladies are mature and you wouldn't do these things, but if you let multiple men shoot the club up, your vagina is going to smell like dirty dishwater. That's going to happen. I don't care what you want to say.
It's gonna smell like hot dog water.
Yeah. It's not going to be good. If you're letting multiple men shoot the club up, it's going to be bad. So I don't care what you want to say. It's certain stuff you can't do. And
that is true. When it comes,
am I lying? If you let multiple men shoot the club up, you can't mix them them two hot lavas together. It's gonna be bad. It's not gonna work.
And that's true. That is so true. However, the fact still remains: some women, some men cannot smell themselves, especially if a woman is interacting with several different partners, and like you say, shoot that thing up. I guess you mean come inside of her.
Bang bang.
You know,
there's no excuse for a man to smell.
It's what?
There's no excuse for a man to smell.
It's no excuse for anyone to smell, but
but your women, your pH balance, all those different things. A man, all our stuff is external. If you smell as a man, you're a nasty mother for real.
What about if you have body? What if your deodorant intensifies your funk and you don't realize it?
Well, here's the thing for guys you don't know. I can help you out with that as well. Secret is better than anything else. Use Secret Dove for deodorant. Don't use the man stuff because it's not going to help you. And fellas, another thing. If you want to keep your balls fresh, take you some Secret, spray from the side. Don't saturate it. Just spray on the side. It keep in that ball sweat to turn your underwear dog. You'd be good with that too. I can help you out with all of
Well, won't that break a woman's mouth out?
I see. That's what God didn't ever tell you to put your mouth on no balls.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Hey, brother.
Oh, Trav makes my butt itch. I can't stand
Man.
Oh my
Boy.
goodness.
Hey, look, Trav.
where you
listen,
get him from.
Hey, bro, look, I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't know if I agree with that statement 100%.
I knew Smiley was gonna say that. That's why I set him up. Smiley, I set you up, man.
Hey, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need you to be like a good golfer. You got to get up under the ball.
But Smiley, you see, if you now
Good golfer.
that's you whisper that. You whisper in that part, right, Smiley?
Don't go too far up under them.
No, I'm saying what you say, how you say it. What you say? Watch this, Smiley. You say it low, get them balls.
So let me ask the question. Is there a proper way to wash your balls?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it is.
Early.
Okay.
Yeah, early and often. Sit down if you're in the tub, and if they float to the top, get up underneath and rinse them good. You know, get yourself back.
If they don't float to the top, move them up, pick them up and wash your balls.
Well, if they float to the top, they about dead. They got he's shooting sawdust. It's about over.
It don't matter. It needs to be lifted. The sides needs to be
Hey, Trav.
everything needs to be washed.
What?
You got to treat that like you know how dudes is when it come to washing their cars, right?
You're right.
That same kind of care that
Cracks
you take to wash that car, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get between the wheel wells. That same care you take for your car, you got to take for yourself.
Cracks and crevices.
I got two sons.
Get them all.
I got two.
Especially if you got like a 73 Impala, you know what I'm saying? Like you want
Come on,
that thing, you want that,
out.
you know what I'm saying? You want to make sure it's right.
Yeah,
take that same care.
I got two sons, and I scrubbed, dipped, and powdered for many years. And that's what they do now.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You train them for one of them girls. You know, that's good.
Shut up. Okay. We went through that, y'all. And I know we ain't done here. We started late, so that's the first half. Because we just talked about 15 minutes about hygiene. So we're going to move on. And I'm going to ask you guys, have y'all had a woman? So you got out of a relationship, you get into a new relationship. The new woman asks, so what happened between you and your ex-girlfriend? And they say, it was whatever happened was her fault, this and that. And then the woman says, ain't no woman just gonna do this. The halo effect. Go ahead, Smiley.
I hate that phrase. Look, I got a personal relationship with that phrase, and I hate it with a passion because for whatever reason, post breakup, whether infidelity was involved or not, hell, throw in the infidelity, regardless on whose part it's on. Mm-hmm. The assumption is always that the man did something wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I've been in some relationships where shit went left. And infidelity was involved on her part. And the response that I got from the women who knew about it was, well, what did you do? Because she wouldn't have just done that. Like for her to do something foul, in these women's minds, somehow it still had to be my fault.
Right.
Now, I'll give you an example. I was with a girl when I was in school for massage therapy, right? Now, before me and her got together, I used to flirt with the girl at the front desk. Now, we never did anything. We never hooked up, didn't have a phone number. We never even hugged. But once I got with my girlfriend, I stopped flirting. That triggered her. Now, mind you, this girl got a boyfriend. She's in a full-blown relationship. But the fact that I stopped flirting with her and got into a relationship, that pissed her off. And being that she works for the school, she has student files, which has my girlfriend's phone number in it. So she ends up getting to a point where she starts calling my girlfriend. So as a result of that, I'm not gonna go all into the detail, but I'll say in about a 4-day period, I lost my job, my car, my place of residence, and my girlfriend, all off of phone calls that came from that girl, because my girlfriend was, hold on.
Dark.
But long story short, she couldn't believe that this girl was calling her phone for no reason. So in her mind, you had to have done something with her, because ain't no woman gonna just do all of that for no reason. Now, I've seen and dealt with some crazy. Sometimes people just crazy, but for some reason, when it comes to a woman being crazy, the assumption is he had to cause it.
I think
we don't do that.
I think that's an insecurity of the woman, that the new girl.
But that's the thing. I tell you what, when y'all get off of here tonight, just look, go on Facebook, Instagram, whatever app you on, and try to find a post where a dude is being vocal about getting cheated on or abused physically, whatever the case. And just read through the comments of how many women are trying to find a way to make his abuse his fault.
Yeah.
I literally watched a video where a girl ran a dude over at the airport. She smashed him between two cars, backed up, and started taking the remnants of the cars and throwing them on the body. And nobody was like, damn, she fouled for that. Everybody was like, he must have did something. It's the assumption. And that's basically what the halo effect is, that because she's a woman, she wouldn't do that unless he made her. Y'all remember that movie Sleeping with the Enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude was terrible. He was terrorizing that girl because the motherfucking labels went to the front.
Right.
She couldn't have went to a dude and told him that story, and he immediately say, well, what did you do? He gonna be like, nah, bro, tripping.
Yeah.
He tripping, like, nah, you got to get up out of there. He crazy.
Right.
He not gonna immediately assume that you did something to trigger whatever foul shit he did. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's
hold on, Smiley.
Go ahead.
Say, Tanya.
Well, let me say something. Just like the scenario Smiley had mentioned earlier when we talked about being brutally honest, for as the women are very sensitive. Well, in this case, it has been a known fact for the man, and it doesn't mean that it's you all, but it has been a known fact for the man to always have done something, whether it was good or bad. So therefore, it's always looked upon when a woman does something to a man, it's like, girl, he must have done something, whether he cheated, lied, or this and that and the other. To go back to your scenario, let me say this, go back to your scenario. What you did was entertain something that you should never entertain, knowing that she was in a relationship. That's where you failed to do wrong. But
nope. Time to clarify.
Right.
If you paid attention to what I was saying, I was flirting with this girl while I was single. I got in a relationship. Her relationship status has nothing to do with mine.
It has everything to do with yours.
No. All right, listen. You see what y'all doing? Y'all are doing it right.
They're doing it right now, and they don't even know it.
Go ahead, Smiley. Speak.
So listen. I am a single man having a conversation with a girl that's at my school. She is in a relationship. She is entertaining this idea. So already she's in the wrong for even entertaining it. I have no obligation to her boyfriend. She does. Right?
I agree with that.
Right.
Now check game. Just because you willing to cheat on your man don't mean I'm willing to cheat on my girl.
Facts.
Understood.
So the second I started entertaining a relationship with my girlfriend, I ended everything. That boundary was clear on my end.
Right.
She was offended. Mind you, when I say just, I've never even given this girl a hug. Never even had no physical contact with her. And she chose to go through the personnel files to get my girlfriend's phone number to call and harass her, which led her to assume that I had sex with this girl during our relationship.
That happens.
That's wild.
And to me,
but I want you to see what you. That's all I said from the get-go. And even then, you said it was on me because I entertained something that I shouldn't have been entertaining. Right there.
No, I did not say it was on you. However, I think two can play the game. Being that she was in a relationship, my question to you is that being that she was in a relationship, did you not know that she was in a relationship? That's number one. Number two is her mentality. Number three is what made her think that you and her can be together. So that's all the questions I'm asking. So what I'm saying, so that's why women always look at, well, girl, he must have done something. Because now, if you knew she was
flip it. But before you finish, flip the scenario. Flip the scenario.
Okay.
You as a young lady going to school, there's a guy that works at the school. You know he has a girlfriend. You ain't got no intention of doing anything. You just doing a little flirty shit. Hey, Trav. That little bullshit. It ain't never going no further than that. Y'all just crack a few jokes here and there, and that's about it. You know he has a girlfriend. You decide, okay, there's another guy at the school that's got your attention. So you say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put an end to this over here. Hey, look, dude, I got somebody now. My attention is over here. And you get into it with your guy, y'all doing y'all thing. And that dude at the school decides to start calling your boyfriend. Who's wrong? You or him?
You. The guy that's been calling my boyfriend, he will be in the wrong. But
that's the same scenario.
But see,
hold on, Tanya. Hold on. Go ahead, Trav.
Okay, so there's a movie with Idris Elba and Beyonce. This same scenario happened.
Yeah.
And I got so angry watching the movie. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. But she made him stay outside, play with their kid outside, come back and forth. What I'm saying, there's an assumption with men that you had to have done something wrong. And that's all Smiley said.
But wait, in that movie, you have to remember she was his assistant and they started dating based off of her position at his job.
He didn't date her.
Never dated her. He
never dated her.
Nothing to do with her.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. In that movie, Beyonce used to be his assistant and they ended up getting together, getting married. So when the new assistant that he never dated came in, it was already, when the new assistant came in and she started flirting and doing everything that she wanted, doing everything that she did in the movie, in Beyonce's mind, it's like, okay, I used to be this girl. Do you see what I'm saying? There's the difference. She was like, well, wait a minute. That's how me and you met. So what she did was she connected the dots for how they met. And then she was like, okay, so now, okay, this is too familiar. So this gotta be it. Until she learned the real truth. Like, okay, this heifer is really crazy. But you gotta remember she had a reason to think the way that she was thinking.
Wait. So
that's her problem, not his.
Hold on, Trav. So that is exactly why I'm saying this topic, because that is exactly right. Lanita, what you said on the movie, she used to be that girl. So she's seeing, well, if you did it to me, you did it to her. I know that for a fact because that's how you got me. And so it's almost like a trigger.
He's guilty.
He's guilty because that's how they got together. But she didn't listen to any of the story that he was trying to tell her because she had that mental of, that's how you got me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There is a,
Right.
listen, at the end of the day, there's an assumption of guilt on the part of men when it pertains to relationships. Because regardless of how he got her, guess what? Plenty of people meet their spouses at the club and they still allow them to go clubbing after that. That's how they got them, but they're okay with them going clubbing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the assumption of guilt falls to men. It always has.
Always will.
I know, I bullshit you not. This ain't even me just trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a video. A dude was running to his car, jumped in his car, closed the door, locked it. Face bloody, beat up, bleeding out his eye, bleeding out his nose, bleeding out his mouth.
Mm.
He like, man, this bitch is crazy. I ain't even did nothing to this girl. I'll just be trying to speak, whatever his spiel was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if just in case you had any doubt about how crazy the girl was, she started banging on the window, trying to get in the car to keep whooping this dude's ass, right? The comment section is full of, what did you do though? You must have done something for her to react that way. I was in a relationship with somebody that got physical. And I mean, like, it got bad. And no matter what, I kept my composure. I ain't swing at her. I ain't head, but I didn't do the uppercuts and headbutts. I tried my best to restrain all that good shit. And when it all came out, the amount of women who looked at her after that relationship ended and was like, I'm so glad that's over. You deserve so much better. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is what I mean by the assumption of guilt on the part of the man when you have female listeners.
They support the sisterhood no matter what.
You know, but
I don't say that. That's not a fair statement.
What
Exactly.
Again, I'm not telling y'all this is what all women do.
Yeah, because a lot of men act the same way though. But because it's a man, we can't call that out.
Okay,
No,
give me an example of what you. Hold on, Trey. Give me an example of what you're talking about, because we all going off our own experience. So I don't know what you're saying. So go ahead, give me an example.
I'm just saying, men get offensive too. That's what I'm saying. Like a woman can say something that will offend a man, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're disrespecting me because of how you said it too."
No, we're not talking about that part. I'm talking about the assumption of guilt at the end of a relationship.
Okay, so let's put it this way. Men are very insecure as well. So if a man feels insecure about their woman, they can easily.
Lanita, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what actually ended a relationship. I'm saying you and your partner, y'all together for however long y'all together for, things end. Y'all can be, quiet about why it ended. It's just clear to the public that it ended, right? The general conversation is that he did something wrong, especially if nobody knows y'all internal business. You ain't said nothing, he ain't said nothing. You just let the world assume what they're gonna assume. The assumption is he did something.
I don't know.
Well, let me say this. You know, I understand what you're saying, Smiley. However, just like I mentioned earlier, or tried to mention earlier, that as it's been stated that women wear their emotions on their sleeves. Well, men are known for doing things ass backwards a lot of times. So therefore, when a woman's always going to ask or say, what did he do? It's just a known fact, you know. Now, whether you did something wrong or not, I mean, I think that we all have our flaws in the things how we handle things. But again, it's a known fact. Men have always been out there in some way doing something they should not have never done. So that's why women ask that question.
So here's the thing, right? You got two types of women who ask this question or who make that assumption, right? Number one is the girl who wouldn't do it herself. So because I wouldn't do it, I have to assume she wouldn't do it. That's the first girl. The second girl is the girl who does exactly that and doesn't want to call it out. Because then by you calling it out, you're calling out yourself. I've seen way more of number two than number one. Right now, today, and I'm not even just talking about this year, we can go back 10, 20, 30 years. Men and women have cheated at about the same rate for the last 30 years.
We are not about to sit up there and say that. That is
no.
We can throw in percentages all day, but that is not. We are not about to do that.
Lanita,
don't even do it.
Lanita,
it's the truth.
That's not true.
So remember,
I'm not even gonna sit there and let you say that like that to entertain it.
Lanita, hold on.
How would you know? Let's be real. Let's have a conversation.
So we can have the conversation. As Travis would say,
listen. Hey, I'm not your enemy. I don't want to fight. I don't want no smoke. You feel me?
One at a time. This is not a personal attack. This is more.
So listen
of what they think.
We are talking about. When I say men and women have cheated at the same rate, I'm just going off statistics. I'm just going off of statistics and my own personal experience. I'm going off of both of these things that I've seen verified in front of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I talk about those two girls, you got girl number one who wouldn't do it. So she assumes that other women wouldn't do it. Lanita, I think that that's the category you fall into. That's not something you would do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for you to see that other women would. I've watched whole groups of women operate this way.
Hold on, Smiley. Go ahead, Trav.
To piggyback off what Smiley said, in England, they refused to do mandatory blood tests. If they did mandatory blood tests, they said 30% of the children born in America will be born to a different father. That's just off that. So the point that Smiley's making, whether it makes you butthurt or not, women cheat at exactly the same or a higher rate than men. There are only a group of set of men that are able to even cheat. That's not an attribute, an unfortunate attribute that most guys even got the luxury to do. Because y'all don't like all certain men are not favorable to women. So I'm sorry. The bottom line
most dudes can't even get no coochie.
Exactly. Whether y'all believe that or not is true. Most men can't get no coochie. But a below average woman can give away coochie at an alarming rate. Stop playing. You can cheat. You have the ability to cheat way more than a man does. Stop playing.
Let me answer that question. And that may be true. We may have the ability and the capability of cheating more than men do. However, you said 30%. Where's the 70%? So 30% of, are you saying 30% of women that has been tested?
30% of the babies that are born to they're placed on the wrong father. So 3 out of 10 babies that are born in the hospital are born to the wrong father. They just put it on the dude.
Yeah, but that's not to say that women are. No, we are.
You cheating if it's the wrong dad.
I want you to calm down. 775-7260. Just calm down a little bit, okay? Bring it in.
Listen,
thank you.
We're not saying all women do this.
Okay,
I think that's what's going on. Every time we say something about the things that a woman could do, it's a real knee-jerk reaction. Like, no, a woman wouldn't.
Statistics.
Okay, but listen, what you just said, you're like, women wouldn't do. That's not statistical. That's opinion-based.
No. I'm not saying women won't do. Women will do. But when we talk about statistics, then I don't agree with that.
But that's what he's quoting. Statistics.
Like stats.
He's quoting statistics.
Because women don't like stats.
Travis, 75726.
Hold on, Trav. Hold on. Tanya, Trav just quoted a statistic. That's exactly what he just did.
Okay.
And you had a rebuttal to it to say that no, women don't do.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this. Listen, y'all. 57% of men overall admit to committing infidelity at some point in their lives. 54% of women overall admit to committing infidelity in one or more of their relationships. I'm being brutally honest. Women cheat they asses off, and women know how to cheat better because they don't get caught. Listen, they don't get caught doing it because men do not search. Men do not, well, I'm not going to say all men. I'm going to say some. Some men don't search. Some men don't hire private investigators. Some men don't do what women do. So 57 to 54.
There's more.
Go ahead.
That's 57, 54.
Hold on. Listen.
Let me say this, Smiley, real quick. Let me say this one second. Thank you, Nick. Men don't hire private investigators. They don't look through your purse. They don't look through your phone. They don't put trackers on your cars. Most. We just don't
Let's
do
just
it.
throw the assumption of generally at the front of everything.
There's no incentive for us to tear our home up.
I totally disagree, but whatever.
Why would you tear your home up?
But Nick said, if you listen to what she said 57% of men cheated in their lifetime. She said 54% of women have cheated in a relationship, in one relationship.
I want you to think about that, right?
So how many relationships do women typically get into? You see what I'm saying? Like there's women that are not serial daters, or there's men that are literally serial cheaters.
But listen.
And still 57 outweighs 54.
Hold on. We want to do math? You want to do some math? All right, let's do some math. All right.
No, I wasn't good in math.
Roughly. Hold on. No. Let's do it. All right. So they say black. Listen, I'm gonna just focus on black folks, right? They say black people make up what 15% of the U.S. population, right? Everybody with me so far?
We
with you.
If we make up 15% of the U.S. population being roughly 300 million, that makes us right around 50 million, right?
Okay.
There are 2 million more black women than black men in America. So 57%, let's say, okay, 50 million, right? We'll give it a flat round number. 50 million people, 50 million black people. And there are 2 million more black women than black men. So we're looking at what, 23 million black men to 27 million black women. Who got a calculator real quick?
So the stats don't add up, Tanya.
Who got a calculator? Anybody?
I don't understand what well, you got to show me the stats, where you get these stats from.
Let's talk about it. Come on, give me your numbers.
You got to hear you. So listen.
Every one boy is born as 1.2 girls is born.
Tootie got a calculator. Tootie got a calculator.
Who got a calculator?
Tootie.
All right. So the numbers that you gave us said 57% of men. What is 57% of 23 million?
57% of 23 million is roughly 16 million.
16 million, right?
Roughly. I'm just going roughly.
Okay, so what is 54% of 27 million? Hello?
Yeah, it's about the same. It's like 15.
It's like 15.
So and mind you, you got to pay attention to the language. She said when she talked about the men cheated in their lifetime. It didn't say how many times they cheated. It didn't say if they were serial cheaters. It said it happened. It's the exact same as them saying women cheated in one relationship. Because are we not in our lifetime?
Right.
That is in her lifetime. It's how they word it that's different, but it's the exact same thing.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but what questions I do ask is that where did you get your statistics?
That's what women do, Smiling.
So listen. All right, let's do this. Which statistic exactly are you asking about?
No, I'm asking what all of it. Where are you getting this? This is
Every statistic has its own source, right? So you have the Labor Bureau, you have African. It's a shitload of entities that handle statistics, right? You threw out a statistic. Can you name off the top of your head the location of that statistic?
I didn't learn. Travis said 30. Somebody said 30.
No.
So
but
I'm
after
just asking the question.
Listen.
Where
Hold
is the
on.
information coming from? That's all I want to know.
Listen, I just got a question. After he threw out his statistic, right? You threw out some words. You said, well, women don't do. And I called you on it. You said, no, I'm just giving a statistic. My question to you is, where is that statistic from? Like, can you say it off? I'm not telling you that it doesn't exist. I want to make that clear. I'm saying.
Let me say something, because I think that I'm being misinterpreted. You know, I'm not saying that women won't do these things. Right. Yes, we will.
I didn't say you did.
But what I didn't say you did. Okay, but what I am saying, that there are more men. This is why women question. This is why women ask. Hold on. This is my truth.
Hold on, Smiley.
Bring it back. No, I'm asking for clarity. I want her to bring that back to what she just said. Start over again, because I couldn't hear you.
I forgot what I said here. Listen. I'm not saying that women don't cheat. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying, from my experience, speaking my own truth, that men do it more often than women. So that is why men are questioned when the relationship goes bad. A woman will say, well, what did you do? Because men are known, and even historically, for cheating. Right. So again, this is my truth. And this is, you know.
Let me say something real quick.
And then think about this too. You have women that have, we was talking about babies earlier. You have men that have 11 different kids by 6 and 7 different women.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Got women that have 8 kids by 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
But Tanya, Anita.
Devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Anita, here's the catch to that. That means, I'm glad both of y'all said that.
Hey, this tea good than a motherfucker.
That means you all are having sex with the same group of men. That's first. Number 2, Tanya, your argument falls apart because he just told you there's about 2.5 million more women, Black women, in our group, in the Black community, more. So if there's 2.5 million more Black women in our community that are cheating, that means you're cheating at a higher rate than men are, because it's more women.
Well, let me say something. My argument don't fall apart. When I ask you, where are you getting this information from? I'm not saying that I disagree with you. I'm asking you, where are you getting your information from? So those that are listening can also find the same information. You can wear that. You wear that very well on top of your head, Trash.
Hey, listen, and Tanya, and all I asked is we both listed stats, right? My question to you, I couldn't name the website right off the top of my head right now in front of me. Can you do that? Can you list the website that you got your statistics from off memory?
I don't recall giving statistics.
Probably not, right?
Because you didn't. That's why you don't recall, because you didn't. But what you did, Smiley, is you said, okay, well, we're gonna break these numbers all the way down.
Listen.
All right. I just be quiet since you want to. No, go ahead. Because you just keep saying it's fine.
Stop. Listen. Don't do that.
Hey, listen. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. I can guarantee y'all this with 100% certainty. Tomorrow, when this is posted, there's going to be a segment where Tanya says clearly, I'm stating statistics. Now, I'm not going to go back into what the statistics was, but the fact that she asked the question, where did you get your statistics? Once you put that on the table, as a person who's also stated statistics, you put yourself in that same conversation. And I'm just saying, being honest, from memory, I can't tell you the websites.
I got one.
Okay.
Hold on.
A man can't even be a hoe. Y'all say that. A man can't be a hoe.
Hold on. I got one question. Lanita, what made you abrupt right there? Like, what made you like pissed off for a minute?
This is what,
because she can't. But they were.
We were what?
Having each other's words. You guys were speaking. So Tanya said you couldn't get a word in, and that's what pissed you off. Is that what pissed you off, or was his comments? Was that?
It's both. It's both. So if we're all supposed to have a conversation, it's supposed to be collectively, and we're all supposed to be listening to each other and hearing each other out. And you're not allowing anyone to even say anything to get something out, then yeah, you have somebody, as in me right now, feeling unheard because I don't agree with what you're saying.
But do you understand that that when we are talking about this discussion, I know we're kind of over time right now, y'all, but when we have this kind of discussion, it's not an attack on our panel. It's an attack.
No, I'm not taking it as an attack on me or anybody else, but let's be clear here. What I don't like to do is we bring in statistics and then we talk down on our Black brothers and our Black sisters either. I don't like to do that.
I don't speak race. I speak men and
well, it got there tonight. So also when we're talking about, it is just like Tanya said, regardless how you slice it, dice it, twist it, turn it, men cheat. Regardless if women cheat better or whatever, men cheat. Right. And so I get that you guys want to defend that, but a lot of time
we don't want to defend that.
But that's what you've been doing.
No, what we've been doing is calling out the realities.
Okay, hold on.
I don't defend no guy who's cheating. I defend no guy who's doing it.
Hold on. Listen, it wasn't a defensive. It was his thought, his truth, and what you were speaking as your truth of what you know.
Listen, I want to make sure this is clear. I'm not talking my truth. I'm not trying to defend any bad behavior. I'm just calling out objective reality based on the information that I have. That's it.
Wait a minute.
Well, I'm going to say this.
Let me ask a question. I want to ask one question.
Go ahead.
He just gave, and take the emotion out of it. He just told you there were I'm telling you, it's 2 to about 2.3 million more Black women than there are Black men. We're just talking about our community. And women cheat at a rate of 54% and men cheat at 57%.
I did the math, by the way.
When you throw in the 2.3 million more Black women, the number is higher for women cheating.
So that's what they're saying as far as where did you get those statistics? And then I don't
look, the question of where do we get to statistics, that's a valid question. I don't have a problem with her asking that question.
That's all the question. That's all I asked. Where did you get that information from?
Now, that being said, since we both threw out statistics, my rebuttal question was, do you have the website from memory that you got your statistic from? Because let's be honest, for the most part, none of us have the website that we pull in statistics from right in front of us. All we know is we've seen it.
Don't quote me.
Wait, let me say something. Let me, because I want to make sure this is clear and clearly understood. I didn't, what I said historically, men are known to cheat. That's what I said. That's what I said. So I didn't say there's a percentage or anything of that nature. So I want to make sure that's clarified and understood.
You did say that you were quoting a statistic, though. You did say that.
Okay, so
if I did say something, hold on. If I did say something and then I was repeating what was said, and I think there was something Travis said. There's 30% And I'm saying 30% of women that have been known to have babies out of wedlock or whatever the case may, out of the marriage or whatever the case may be.
Paternity
So
fraud has
I
occurred
was
in 30% of
repeating
the
what
time.
was stated
To the
earlier.
wrong father. To the wrong father.
Okay, and I was repeating what was said earlier, so I want to make sure that's clear.
Okay.
Right. So what I will say, y'all, this topic is a little heated. This
Good is good.
Yeah,
It's-
it
Hey,
is.
look,
Because there's different.
they say, listen,
Hold
they
on,
say that
Smiley.
growth
Hold
is
on,
an encompass.
Smiley. Hold on, Smiley. There is a difference of opinions. We don't throw your head back. I see, but we have difference of opinions. It's a beautiful thing, and this is what people do every day. So, do we all agree that men and women cheat?
Yes.
Do we all agree that women hide theirs more?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do we all agree that men aren't the ones that go search and attack and search and hire private investigators and stuff like that? I won't say men, just majority. They don't go hire private investigators, or
I
they
want to add one thing to it, Nick.
go ahead.
I want to add one quick thing. The other difference is, and maybe I shouldn't give this away, but I will. I feel like I'm going against the man code, but I'm gonna do it. The other difference in this is this:
Speak your truth.
a man will cheat on his wife and still have sex with his wife on a regular basis. If a woman starts cheating on you and you're a husband, she's gonna put the pussy on ice, and you're not gonna get very much because the other guy's gonna be getting behind the Kroger parking lot as much
Bro,
as he.
listen.
And that's
I'm gonna be 100 with you, bro. That factor may be true. I don't think that is relevant to this conversation. I think it'll be relevant in another conversation, but as far as this one goes,
I know. I just inserted it.
Oh, it's the whole cheating thing. And truth be told, men have sex and cheat for sex, not the heart. Women have sex to leave.
That's it.
And
Yes.
that's what it boils down to. We're on our way out when we cheat.
now what I would no.
Majority of
you
the
gotta listen.
I'm not talking about
majority
of the women.
Smiling.
Yes.
She about to go.
Listen,
She's about to break the camera.
listen.
And we got about 2 more minutes.
Me and my uncle had a conversation. He came from a different generation than we came from, right? So the things that were normal in his generation weren't normal in ours. Just like the things that are normal in our generation aren't normal for the new generation. We have to give credit to the fact that as time goes on, norms change.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on here is grown as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I'll say it, because we're not finna call out nobody's age. Everybody on here is grown as fuck.
Shit, I'm 50. Go ahead.
But as far as the way the world is set up today, this hot girl, city girl culture, the women aren't operating like they did back when we came up. The rules are changing.
Smiley, she's still not hardwired to cheat. They have a love endorphin that's let off when they be with a man.
I get that. I'm not arguing against that.
Okay,
what I'm saying is the reality is this is what's going on.
Right.
Regardless of whether it's hardwired or not, it's happening.
Sorry,
There's a lot of shit that's going
Travis,
on.
did you just say that women are not hardwired to cheat?
No, they're not hardwired to have sex like men. I apologize.
No, you said it right the first time. Go ahead.
No, you're not hardwired to have sex like a man. Men have sex with women and we won't even know your last name. Don't care.
First name.
There are so many women that cheat, girl.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah,
I'm speaking my truth. Remember, that's just not me. So if I'm speaking my truth to say I'm not that woman, I'm not that girl.
This topic is not about us.
I know, but I'm saying if I'm speaking my truth, that's what I'm saying. It's not about me. So I was just piggybacking off of what Travis said, which was he originally said women are not hardwired to cheat. And just like you mentioned, most women are cheating to leave. They're not hardwired to just go out here and just cheat and sleep around.
Right, that's
They
true.
already got to a place where, okay, this
I'm
isn't
ready to
working
go.
out for me. So now I'm going to check
Hot
this out and see what it is.
girl
So
summer.
there's steps to just like guys be like, oh, there's levels to this. There's
Yeah.
steps that women take before they even get to that level. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And I
But
agree.
Listen,
I'm going to tell you guys something, and I'm going to speak my truth. I'm 50 years old, from San Diego, born and raised, and I know a whole slew of women growing up. 3 of them would only date married men. They would fuck married men. Why? Because they didn't want anything to do with the baggage or whatever the hell they had going on. They just wanted the dick. A lot of women think like that I've personally came across, which is it good? Hell no. Hell no. But when I say women and men, they cheat. Women are, well, I know a lot of men don't like this word, but women are smarter in that case because men don't search. But on that note, y'all, we are overtime. I love y'all. We ain't stopping here. But until next time, subscribe y'all to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth on YouTube, and we are out of here.